Hey guys, it's Joe making another video for you guys today, and I'm answering a question that I get asked quite often when I'm doing outdoor portraits, and that's why do you use a flash on sunny days or on cloudy days? Like right now, we're actually in like prime portrait lighting right now. It's cloudy, but it's still very bright, and we have nice even lighting. We don't have harsh shadows or anything like that. Nobody has to squint when they look towards the sun. It's actually very ideal right now to do portraits, yet I still have my flashes set up. Why? People don't understand. Well, the reason is that I am not looking so much for the amount of light. I'm not just trying to make things brighter. I'm trying to change the way the light is hitting my subject. So when people ask me, why do you use flashes? It's already bright enough. They don't understand why I'm using the flashes at all. So I did a shoot earlier today with Haley, whose name I constantly mispronounce. It's actually Hallie, but I will continue to mispronounce it. And I set the camera up just to do some video of us doing the portraits. And I used pretty much one light the whole time. And we're going to take a look at those and take a look at those pictures. And I'll explain to you what the difference that the flash makes. And I think it'll be pretty obvious. And hopefully next time somebody asks that question, I can say, oh, I made this awesome video about it. Go check it out. Because it really does make a big difference when you're taking portraits. Okay, so the first shot that we did was actually in the shade, so we already had a cloudy day, which meant for very even lighting, but we were also in the shade, so it got even more even. And what that also meant is that the picture became sort of flat. Fortunately, there was a brighter area behind Haley, so it gave her this nice lighting on her hair and stuff. And if you look at this photo, this is done without any flash. It's not that bad. This is exactly how it came out of the camera. Light metered in the camera, just shot it like this. And it's not that bad at all, but it lacks the separation of the subject, Haley, from the background, I think. So that's when I added in the flash. And here's what the photo looks like with a flash. It's a subtle difference, but I think it makes a big difference. That small difference is a big difference. You can see here that the background is not brighter than her, so it's easier to see that she is the focus of this picture as opposed to the picture without the flash. If you look at a side-by-side comparison here, you can see that the background is kind of blowing out so that it's distracting from her face. So that's one way I use a flash, is just to draw attention where I need it to be drawn. And this is the photo after it's been edited a little bit. You can see there that it still adds some more of that pop that everybody likes. So that's one. That's a very simple example, of just actually making the person brighter than their background, so that the separation of your subject and background is more dramatic, and I think it makes for a much nicer portrait. So the next section that we did was another simple setup right on the back steps. All of these portraits were done in the backyard. I was trying to keep this video as simple as possible just to show what difference a flash makes. Now, this shot here, which was done with no flash, the problem here is that I don't really like how the shadows are on her face. Now, they're not that dark, but it makes her eyes look a little bit sunken in, and I just wanted to bring a little bit more life to the photo. So for this one, I actually used two flashes, and here's the result from that. You can see here that this is much more flattering. I've got some light on her hair because of the speed light I put behind her. It actually bounced it off of the white door. And then I had the umbrella reflecting the light back onto her face. And it's much more flattering. There's a brightness there. She's not lost in the background. There aren't really dark shadows under her eyes, making her eyes look dead. And there's a little bit of shine in her eyes too. And those are called catch lights, and they're actually the reflection of your light source. And that will just bring life to your portrait to get those catch lights in there. So that, again, here's a side-by-side comparison. Again, these are completely unedited photos. This is how it came out of the camera. This is the photo after it's been edited, and of course it looks, even better now. But that's that subtle difference. Again, the photo that we started with is not dark. It's not an issue of not having enough light. It's an issue of having the right kind of light. In this case, I wanted the direction of the light to change. I wanted it to be coming more towards her face instead of down on top of it, causing those shadows. And of course, I can't move the sun, and I probably wasn't going to say, hey Lee, let's stand here for 3 hours while we wait for the sun to set and move to a better position. I suppose we could do that, but most of my clients pay me by the hour, so they probably wouldn't want to go that route. That's why I bring in the flash, to change the light. I use the flash in many, many situations. If you go onto my website, there's actually more portraits that are done with some sort of an off-camera light, like a flash, than those that were just shot with completely natural light. For example, this one here, used a flash. This one here, used a flash. Flash, 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 two flashes, flash and a reflector, flash, two flashes. So I use these quite often. It has nothing to do with how bright it is outside. It has to do with where the light is coming from and if it's soft and if it's hard, all that kind of stuff. And if it's something I want to change, that's when I bring in my flashes to get a different look. I love using the flashes. It gives me so much more control over the photos, and I love what I can do with them. So that's really what I look for when I'm deciding whether or not I want to use flashes. Do I like the way the light is already, or is there a way that I can improve it? And if there is, out come the flashes. So that is the answer to that question. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment. I love getting comments on my videos. Don't forget to subscribe. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And of course, you can check out joehigh.com. And I will see you next time.